Hey guys, how's it going? My name's the Breph, and welcome to another challenge video. Today, I'm asking the question, can you beat Pokémon Ruby with only a Tropius? This challenge was requested by the user FIFA Compilations in the comments. I mention this now because I actually owe an apology. I'll say it straight away that I didn't name my Tropius after you. I figured that I'd take this episode to drop another naming scheme into things, so the first person who finds out what the naming scheme of this video is, and why, you bag yourself a shout out in the next video. As for this one, I do apologise FIFA Compilations, but I hope you can forgive me. Right, back to Tropius though. In terms of the challenges I've done before, he's actually a bit of a beast in comparison. Not as much of a beast as I've got lined up for one of my future challenges, but still a beast nonetheless. Boasting a nice 99 health, 83 defense and 87 special defense, I don't actually expect it to be too hard. Good, especially after the torture of the last one. Besides, it's Valentine's Day, so I think I'll treat myself. By now, I'm not actually sure if I need to include a rules slide, but for tradition's sake, here. Yeah, they're the same as ever, so Tropius only in battle except for the 7th gym. Held items are fine, but no other items in battle, and TMs are alright. Fine, now that convoluted intro's done, let's crack on. Game begins and we choose the female character, naming ourselves something inventive and loving, like Breph. We catch the professor trying to get some Valentine's Day love from a very inappropriate source, and we get our Tropius. We name her China. You know, like China. From there, we go and fight Brendan. It was a nice and simple fight, as always. We turn him inside out. From there, we head off to Rustborough and arrive at Roxanne. For what I think is the first time since I've been doing these sorts of videos, I actually feel good enough to challenge her under-leveled. At level 14, Razorleaf practically decimates her, and we win, going on to Dance into the Light. By light, I mean Pitch Black Cave, where we rescue a bird from a thug and sail off towards Dewford. Gust might not be the most powerful move, but it is a flying type, so we challenged Brawly. As soon as I walked in, I knew that victory was in the air tonight, and I was not disappointed. We've claimed 2 gym badges, and we're not even level 20 yet. Delivering the letter to Stephen, we sail on to Slateport. With it being Valentine's Day and all, I decide I'm going to take myself on a little date to a museum, where we accidentally bump into Maxie. He's a bit of a nasty bastard who takes the piss out of us for being single at this time of year before he walks off. Unfazed, we head on towards our next fight. Brendan caused us a couple of resets here, but I'm a determined bastard and I'm not moving until this is done, so we persevere and win eventually, heading up to Moorville. Naturally as ever, I have a full team of pickup slaves named Zigzagoon, and I've been really damn lucky. We've collected a lot of rare candies on our journey so far, so I'm not actually worried about the Watson fight. Before then, we defeat every trainer around us, and yet again, this happens. I'm starting to think it's actually a programming error in the games rather than a one-off glitch. Still interesting though, and I can't be bothered to search it, so if anyone knows the answer to that, please leave it in the comments. I'll be very interested to find out. I walk in and pop a couple of rare candies, attempting the gym fight at level 30. The first one doesn't go too well, and to me at least we were way off completing it. Not to worry, we just pop a few more rare candies and go again. At level 35 we try and claim the badge. Growth is a good move for us, and the extra special attack damage ultimately helps us defeat the stubborn Magnemite and Magneton. 3 badges down and we've hardly had an issue so far, so it's going really well. From there we head up Mount Chimney and encounter Maxie again for what could be the fight of the day. I don't know whether it don't matter to me or I don't care anymore, but it wasn't that difficult when we got down to it. Let me know in the comments. Do you know? Do you care? What happened in Flannery's gym though is nothing short of a miracle, and I don't want to go into the details about it. All I can say is that it ended with her begging for one more night and me asking her to make sure she don't lose my number. All jokes aside, it may have taken us a couple of resets, but really we've claimed the 4th badge and it was easy as anything. Talking of easy, we have to battle Norman now. Our father, who art in Petalburg, hallowed is not his name. His normal type Pokemon aren't as much of a problem as they could be, and he's got a long way to go until he's capable of holding his own against us. The 5th badge gains us access to Surf, and that can only mean one thing. Next stop, Winona. Every game has at least 1 or 2 points where progress becomes slow and sometimes even impossible. Most games have more than that in my opinion, but this was supposed to be an easy challenge. Frightfully, I learn a lesson here. In amongst the thunder and lightning, there's going to be a shit ton of rain and you are going to get soaked through to the core. We had a good number of rare candies and the means to make more, obviously, so I wasn't too worried. Defeating a bunch of trainers in the area, we got a few levels, so I only needed a couple of rare candies. At level 55, we try again and learn that Skarmory is a hell of a bastard and is very hard to defeat. I'm going to consider this our trial run for Steven. Anyway, finishing up there, we move on. At this point, our moveset is Aerial Ace, Magical Leaf, Growth and Return. This is actually going to be our final moveset, so strap in because only you know and I know what's going to go on from now on. After racing through the events of Mount Pyre, heading quickly to Slateport and following up with the Magma Hideout, we make land in Moss Deep City. Here we pick up the King's Rock from the Gentleman because our Zigzagoons have been really good at rare candies, but terrible for anything else really. This gym doesn't faze me for once, although it did cause me a couple of resets just to really hone the fight. We start off with a Growth just to make sure we can get rid of the Lunatone, something we have struggled with before. The first target is Solrock because I wanted to avoid that flamethrower like the coronavirus, and when that goes down, Lunatone follows shortly after. I genuinely think this is the lowest level I've ever been to do this gym. It's amazing. Seafloor Cavern is next, and it doesn't pose much of an issue for me. By now I know the route like the back of my hand, so the fight with Maxie was up next. Turns out it's actually completable first time around. I genuinely thought that he could cause me a problem, but as it turns out, it was easy as you like every time we had to face him in this game. After that we head off to Satopolis and descend into the Cave of Origin. Bumping into Groudon down here, we catch it because why not add the box legendary to the collection, eh? Turns out the hardest part of Wallace's gym was actually getting to him in the first place. Magical Leaf isn't the most powerful move, but my goodness was it effective here. This badge was literally a case of we said hello, goodbye. With that, we only have 6 more trainers to fight for this challenge. The first of which is Wally. His team doesn't actually contain any real challenges. A few minor inconveniences like Magneton being part Steel type and Altaria just not wanting to Fate. But other than that, he really wasn't doing anything and he was nowhere near being a roadblock for us. The Elite Four run though, yeah, that was not fun. Although most of Sydney's team can be dealt with, Phoebe caused us a rather large roadblock. One of her Dusclops likes to lead with Curse, and even if we get rid of that, the other one has Ice Beam and that is a powerful bugger. For a very similar reason, Glacier isn't fun either. Drake has his own set of problems and all in all, it just didn't make for an enjoyable time. Looking back at my recording footage, it turns out I spent more time on this section of the run than I did any other. I tried over and over and it wasn't going too well and I was not sparing with my rare candies. I had just shy of 20 of them saved up and I used a lot in the end. At level 88, we start this run. As is usually the way, Sydney was easy. When we're lucky, Mightyena likes to use Sand Attack and that gives us 3 chances to use Growth. Thanks to Magical Leaf and Aerial Ace never being able to miss, we're able to ruin him. Phoebe now, and she doesn't damage us nearly as hard as she had before. Thanks to Aerial Ace and Magical Leaf, once again, her Dusclops, Bannet and Sableye all fall before us. On paper, Glacier should have been an easy one. Her challenging Pokemon, meaning Celio and Walrein as they always seem to screw me over, were the easiest ones to deal with. Ironically, both Glalie was strong and capable of doing me some serious damage. Luckily for us though, we survive and we move on to Drake. And let me tell you now that this fight took me many tries. His Shelgon knows Rock Tomb and it knows how to use it. While it may not hit hard, the speed drop of our already low enough speed can hinder us deeply later down the road. Salamence knows Fly, and on several occasions it decimated us with it. Thankfully though, we get a beautiful run, and I think it was the high health that we had that bugged out the AI and stopped it from using it. Whatever caused that to happen, we finished the Elite Four, and only Steven remains. The plan for this one was pretty simple. Spam growth on Skarmory, hope it misses Toxic and uses Spikes, utilise our high defence and plough straight through. Thankfully this plan worked and we pushed through Steven's team. Claydol, Cradilly, Armaldo and Aggron all go down to a single magical leaf each. Metagross was slightly tougher and required 2 shots to fell, and with that, it's another day in paradise for us and the challenge is completed. This one was actually really good fun. It was nice to be able to sit back and relax while recording. I got real damn lucky with rare candy pickups and whatnot, but the end portion could definitely pose a slog if you don't have them on hand like I did. If you ask me, give it a go. Tropius was a great bit of fun and he showed me a really new side to this game. At the start of this challenge, I asked a simple question on behalf of FIFA Compilations. Can you beat Pokémon Ruby with only a Tropius? The answer? Yes, you can. Somewhat easily too for the most part, although the move pool is limited, but it still can learn a good number of TMs and it makes the playthrough ultimately a lot nicer. Thank you so much for watching guys, like and subscribe for more content like this, and comment down below any challenges you might like to see me take on in the future. And please, join me next time, where I ask the question, can you beat Pokemon Crystal with only a Caterpie? Thanks again for watching guys, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.